If Meta's AI discovered that TikTok's customer acquisition cost was 40% lower than its own, would it suggest shifting your budget over? The answer is obvious, no, but this is exactly the real dilemma facing Chinese game publishers going global today. The platform's AI is getting smarter, but no matter how smart it gets, its first priority is the platform's own interests, not yours. Just 2 weeks ago, from June 16th to 18th, I went to Xiamen to attend the 2026 MAMA Xiamen Summit, hosted by AppFlyer. MAMA is one of the most important industry conferences in mobile marketing. This year's Xiamen lineup was impressive. Economist Xue Zhaofeng, Silicon Valley startup godfather Steve Hoffman, Fu Chang from Moon's Dark Side, Tencent IEGG's user growth team, and executives from various overseas verticals including fintech, short dramas, and social apps. Throughout the full day of sharing, every speaker's discussion revolved around one core question. Now that AI agents are beginning to take over game user acquisition, who should really hold the decision-making power? After attending this summit, my biggest takeaway is this: the next phase of competition for Chinese game publishers going global is no longer about who has more creatives or who has a bigger budget, but about who can hold on to their own growth brain amid the wave of AI automation. Let's start with some key data. In Q1 2026, overall installs for Chinese apps going global grew 12.7% year-over-year, and paid installs grew 21.0% year-over-year. That looks like a healthy growth curve, right? But now look at the next number. Customer acquisition ad spend grew only 0.9% year-over-year. What does this mean? Chinese game companies haven't stopped spending, they're just increasingly unwilling to spend indiscriminately. Everyone is now buying more installs and more paying users with nearly the same budget. Behind this is a shift in industry consensus. Install volume is no longer the core metric. The real question game companies care about has become, with the same money, can we buy more genuine incremental growth and higher quality users? But here's the problem. When Meta, Google, and TikTok all say, leave your budget to our AI, it will auto-optimize for you, whose interests are these platforms' AI actually serving? Are their goals aligned with yours? But today, I'm going to tell you a harder truth. When you hand over all your user acquisition optimization to platform AI, you may be handing over your growth brain to an external system whose goals aren't fully aligned with yours. At the AppFlyer MAMA Summit, Dr. Wang Wei, General Manager of Greater China, made a very sharp point. In 2026, AI is moving from answering questions to getting work done. What does that mean? In the past, we asked AI to write copy or summarize reports, it was just an assistant. But now AI agents are starting to autonomously analyze data, spot anomalies, allocate budgets, adjust campaigns, and even form 24/7 automated closed loops. Sounds great, right? But there's a fatal prerequisite: the AI has to be fed the right data. Wang Wei used a very straightforward analogy. In the past, if an optimizer misread data, they might only waste a small portion of the budget. But if an agent continuously optimizes based on wrong data, it will amplify that error by dozens or even hundreds of times at machine speed. And here's an even more critical question: are the platform AI's goals aligned with yours? No matter how smart an ad platform's agent is, its first priority is the platform's own commercial efficiency. Meta's agent will never suggest moving your budget to TikTok, even if TikTok's CPI is 40% lower. The platform sees click-through rates, installs, short-term ROI, and conversion within the attribution window, but game companies care about retention curves, deep paying users, LTV, long-term payback periods, and the real match between users and products. This is the heart of the problem. When you hand over all optimization to platform algorithms, you're essentially giving your growth brain to an external system with misaligned incentives. At the summit, Xue Zhaofeng, Vice President of Sales for Greater China at AppFlyer, pointed out a very painful phenomenon. Many companies today don't lack AI tools and they don't lack data. What they truly lack is the ability to turn data into growth decisions. A lot of teams now have a mountain of back-end metrics, daily reports, weekly reports, channel dashboards, all very complete. But after reading them, what exactly should you do? Should you increase the budget? Is the user quality actually good? Is a certain channel bringing genuine incremental value, or just making the reports look pretty? That's why AppFlyer kept emphasizing throughout the conference. In the AI era, the real infrastructure is trustworthy data. Without clean, unified, and attributable signals, even the most powerful agent will just be running blind faster. So here's the question: if you can't fully rely on platform AI, what should game companies do? At the summit, Tencent IEGG gave a very clear answer: build your own UA agent. Bincen, Senior Director of User Growth at Tencent IEGG, shared at the summit that game publishing going global has gone through 3 phases. Phase 1, manual scale, 2010-2021. A team of 10-20 people manually managed dozens of overseas channels, creating and optimizing hundreds or thousands of campaigns by hand. Phase 2, AI-assisted publishing, 2022-2025. Smart Bidding and Advantage Plus took over bidding and targeting, reducing the team to 5-8 people managing the same scale of spend. Phase 3, agent-driven autonomous publishing, from 2026 onward. AI agents autonomously execute full-funnel work across platforms via protocols. In the future, 2-3 people will be able to oversee agents managing omni-channel campaigns. But here's the key: Tencent did not hand decision-making power to the platforms. Instead, they built their own private UA agent. Why? Because only your own agent can compare and allocate budgets across across platforms, access deep back-end data, define user value standards that fit your product, and coordinate with creative agents, localization agents, ASO agents, and social media agents. For example, when CPI rises and CTR drops in a certain region, the UA agent can automatically identify the issue, notify the creative agent to supply new directions, and hand it off to the localization agent for language, cultural, and compliance adaptation. These signals can also be fed back to the R&D team in real time, helping them gauge player preferences for characters, art styles, and themes across different markets. This turns what we used to call publishing feeding back into R&D into a near real-time workflow. There was also a very interesting discussion at the summit. As AI does more and more, where do people and organizations fit in? Economist Xue Zhaofeng pointed out that humans don't just pursue efficiency, they also seek connection, complex experiences, stories, a sense of achievement, and meaning. This judgment holds especially true in the gaming industry. Players play games for growth, challenge, social interaction, identity, and emotional feedback. AI can produce creatives faster, but it may not truly understand why a player is moved by a certain character or storyline. So growth in the AI era isn't about removing people, it's about freeing them from repetitive execution so they can define goals, judge direction, and direct AI systems to carry out more complex growth operations. After attending this MAMA Summit, my biggest takeaway is this: AI's impact on Chinese game publishers going global has moved from the tool layer to the system layer. In the past, competition was about who had higher creative output and stronger channel resources. Going forward, it may be about who has a cleaner data foundation, whose agents can coordinate across platforms, and who can truly connect acquisition, creatives, localization, and product iteration into a closed loop. For game companies, AI agents will take over more and more execution tasks, but the most critical things become even less outsourceable: the definition of user value, the principles behind budget allocation, the direction of product iteration, and the understanding of player psychology. The future of overseas game growth doesn't belong to the teams that shouted AI the earliest, nor necessarily to those with the biggest budgets. It belongs to those who can truly link data, agents, and human judgment together. This competition has only just begun. I'm Roski. See you next time.